Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name is Stone Rain Productions, but feel free to call me SRP. And figured with all the leaders being spoiled for Secrets of Power, we could try rating them. This is my first time doing a rating on here anyway, so I figured it would be fun. And I'm going to use a different page. We're going to take a look at the leaders front and back, and then we'll go and rate them from there. This is just for fun. This is what I think that they're going to do for constructed. Spoiler, I don't really think that there's anything that's S tier that's come out here, but we're going to take a look at the different leaders and go from there. And we are going to start off with Chancellor Palpatine. Now, the front side, the leader side, has an action of 1. Exhaust. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card with plot. Reveal it and draw it. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. Alright, so on the face of this, it's basically going to let us get an extra card that has plot. And that ties in with what it does on the front as well, too. And I didn't really mention this at the start, but we are going to start off with the vigilance aspect here and go from there. Or work our way through. The Chancellor Palpatine comes in the Spotlight deck. I think this leader is really good. Let's take a look at the front, though. So the front it's 7 deploy, which most likely we're going to want to run something with command to try to get this out earlier. And it has 1 deployed. The next card you play using plot. This phase costs 3 less. So we can essentially get up to 10 points worth of plot cost when he flips. And so I think that is potentially powerful. I don't think that there's enough support for it now, but I still think it's good. And I really want to put this... I'm going to put this in A. I think that there's potential for this, and I think plot is a very, very good mechanic. We're going to have to see if there's anything else with plot that comes along, but with what we have now, this could go B. I think the plot mechanic is really good, and that's why I'm going to stick with A on this. Next up, we've got the Jabba leader. Again, sticking with the vigilance villainy theme here. This is, it's going to have a deploy of 5 as well. Action 1, exhaust. A friendly damaged unit deals 1 damage to an enemy unit. If the friendly unit has 3 or more damage on it, it deals 2 damage instead. I initially thought of Rook from set 1, but it doesn't work because Rook specifically says when it's attacking, so it has to be combat damage. The back of Jabba, again, 5 deploys, 2/8, and it says when another friendly unit is dealt damage and survives, you may have that unit deal that much damage to an enemy base. Use this ability only once each round. Okay. So I think this has potential. I think it's a decent leader. I don't know. I guess I'd have to really take a look at the card pool a little bit more. The 2 damage on the front could be potentially very good, but we're going to want something that has a lot of health. I could see this working with grit potentially, or things that you want to be defeated. But I'm going to give this a B for right now. I don't think it's terrible, but I think that getting the 2 damage off of Jabba might be a little too hard, and that's why I'm going to knock it down a peg. We'll see how Jabba plays out, though. I haven't actually gone through and made any decks with him yet, though. Next up, we're going to check out Lama Su. And Lama Su is going to deploy on 6. Again, vigilance, villainy, action, exhaust. Play an upgrade from your hand on a friendly non-vehicle unit. It costs 1 less. If you do, deal 1 damage to that unit. Okay, I've got a couple things in mind that I can think of that I like, but let's look at the front. Or the back, I mean. Okay, it deploys on 6. It's a 3/7. And when this unit completes an attack and survives, you may play an upgrade from your discard pile on a friendly non-vehicle unit. It costs 1 less. so we don't have to worry about the 1 damage anymore once it's deployed. And we can play something from our discard pile. Yep, upgrade from your discard pile. Okay. So, something like Craving Power, really good in here. That's the only thing that really stands out to me off the top of my head. I guess something like a Hotshot DL44 could potentially be good with her as well too. It's an upgrade, so I guess I could see that working with her. But I would say overall, I'm probably going to put this in the B tier. I think this unit has some pretty strong potential. I'm just not sure if everything is there. Again, this is just my own opinion, and I'm kind of going off of that. So just kind of spitballing here. This was a last minute idea that I had anyway. All right, next up, make sure that we put. Okay, good. Next up is Leia. This one is our first heroism card, and this is heroism and vigilance, and it has the ability of action. Pay 1, and you can disclose vigilance, command, aggression, cunning, or heroism. Disclose means just reveal a card with those aspects or that aspect. If you do, give an experience token to a unit that doesn't share an aspect with the disclosed card. Okay. Leia deploys on 6 and is a 4/7, and says on attack you may disclose, again, same aspects. If you do, give an experience token to a unit that doesn't share an aspect with the disclosed card. Okay, what does Leia really want us to do? Leia really rewards us for playing cards with 1 aspect. It makes it a lot easier to get experience onto other cards this way. I don't think she's horrible, but I don't really see this popping off personally, and I'm going to put her in the C tier. Okay, next up, we're going to go with Satine. Now, Satine, I'm a little bit biased with this because I really like this leader, and I'll go over and explain why. But this is our second heroism vigilance card. And Satine deploys on 5, which is good. And she's got an ability where it's an action, exhaust. You can heal 2 damage from a unit. If you do, deal that much damage to your base. A little bit of a trade-off there. Now the back of it is a 5 cost 0/8 with restore 4. Okay, so I've made a meme mill deck. There's a video of it. But honestly, if you take the Satine unit out of that list and just play it as is with the whole like restore theme and go double blue, it's actually pretty good. I was able to race an aggro deck and get a win off of it, just with things like Chandril and Sponsor and Queel and just everything restore. She restores. You can go the Mandalorian route as well too. You can do something like a Darksaber and Mandalorian armor. There's all sorts of routes that you can go with her, but I actually think she's not too bad, and I'm going to put her in B tier. I really like the Restore 4. I think it's really good. Yeah, it doesn't deal any damage when it attacks, but we can upgrade it if we need to. There was the plot event as well too. It's not great, not event, the plot upgrade, where we can get it when she comes out, or we can do something like Darksaber, as I said before, because she's a Mandalorian. Go from there. Definitely has potential, and I've had some good results with her so far. All right, next up for our first command leader, we've got a command villainy, and this one is Colonel Yularen, deploys on 5, and Yularen has an action, exhaust, attack with a unit, then you may attack with another unit that costs less than it. I really like the front of this. I think it's good. It's not crazy, but it's definitely very, very solid. And the front side, again, deploys on 5. It's a 4/6. When this unit completes an attack and survives, you may attack with another unit that costs 4 or less. Okay. I think that Yularen has a lot of potential. Anytime that we can action cheat, kind of like Leia, I think that there's potential for it. And before rotation, I think is going to be Yularen's best chance to shine when we have the largest amount of card pool on him. Him being an Imperial and everything, we've got a lot of Imperials that are really good right now. And there's some other good ones that just came out, like the Dark Trooper, I think the 2-cost 3/3. So with that, I'm gonna actually put Yularen in the A tier. That's my own opinion. Being able to get 2 attacks is pretty good. I don't think it's the absolute best, and I think Palpatine's still better, but I still think it's a very good leader. Again, we're just going off of my opinion, so I don't want to upset anybody. It's just my thoughts. Next up, we've got Vilni, Dryden Voss, who flips on 7. And Dryden is kind of a unique one, and I think this one will be good. But it has an action where we can exhaust and discard a card that costs 6 or more from our hand. Play a unit that costs 5 or less from your hand, paying its costs. It gains Ambush. Ambush is always fantastic. When we flip, 7 cost 5/7 with Overwhelm, and it has an action, discard a card from your hand, so no cost restriction on that. Play a unit from your hand, paying its cost. It gains Ambush for this phase. I think that Dryden is definitely A tier, and I think it's better than these other two. It requires some weird deck building, but we want to put some higher end stuff in there anyway, just for the late game. But getting an early turn ambush is just pretty outstanding. I mean, Vader could very easily fit into this deck with this leader, and I'm talking about the set 5 Vader, and just go really crazy. Always being able to have a reusable source of ambush seems pretty powerful to me. Trading a card in your hand to get that, it's a little bit of a steep cost, but I think that there are ways that you could build this with plot, like the plot Palpatine, for example. I think that card is really good to take a better advantage of the lack of cards that we're going to have in our hand, or things like Kylo's Silencer. It doesn't really work with the ability per se, but cards like that where we'd be able to play it from our discard pile. So I think it's probably the best leader that we've come across so far. Next up, we've got Bail, and Bail's a very weird leader, and I would very much like to build something with him, and that's probably going to be something that I do down the road very shortly. So Bail is command heroism, and it has an action where we can pay 1 and exhaust him, and if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, return a friendly resource to its owner's hand. If you do, put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Alright, let's unpack that before we move any further. If a friendly unit was defeated, so something of yours gets defeated, you can pay 1 and exhaust your leader and return a friendly resource to your hand. This gives us a little bit more card selection if we have something that we want to hide, for example, from discard. Just hear me out on this. It's not like it's a huge thing. We don't see a ton of discard all the time, but it's a good way to hide a card and then pick it back up later, and then we can get to replace that card. So it's card selection. This leader is unique where it doesn't have an epic action per se. It has instead action, exhaust, discard 2 cards from your hand. If you control 4 or more resources, deploy this leader. Okay, so we can deploy it multiple times. On the back, it's a 4-cost 3/3. When you play a card from your resources, heal 1 damage from your base. So Bail works exceptionally well with plot. That's pretty much what he was built for. We can continue to resource our plot cards and replay them as he deploys again. And since it's coming out from plot, we don't really care about the cards in our hand as much. That's the idea behind it at the very least. So On the front, it's a little bit of card selection. You can pick up cards that you wanted to hide, perhaps, or you wanted to just switch out a card for you didn't like your resourcing choice. Maybe you didn't have an option. It's a fringe thing, but either way, Bale I think is interesting, but I don't really care for it. If I'm being completely honest, I think it's better than Leia, but I just don't see this really coming up very much. It's just, it might be good, and if you have some feedback or you have a Bale deck that you really like, by all means, please share it with me, because I would very much like to try this a little bit more in depth. I just had a little bit of cursory testing with this, and wasn't super crazy with him. All right, up next, we've got Mon Mothma, another command heroism leader. In this one, the front is pretty easy. It says ignore aspect penalties on non-villainy officials units you play. So you can play things out of aspect with this leader as long as they're officials. And she has an epic action 5 where we can deploy her. And the back has 5. She's a 3/7. And it says ignore the aspect penalties of non-villainy official units you play. Each other friendly official unit gets +0/+1. Alright, I don't think that there's enough good officials for this to actually work. I'm a little skeptical of this. You can very easily run double green and do the whole command thing, but I don't want to give it a D tier, but I'm gonna put it on the bottom of C. I think that in the future that it will be good. Maybe after rotation, if we see some more officials with the next set 7, I think that we may have something good there. But for right now, I'm not really crazy about it. Again, if you've got an idea for a deck, please share it in the comments. Definitely would love to see it. Up next, I think this leader is really good, and I've seen people building control decks, and I've seen people building aggro decks with this, and both of them have worked. I think the control version seems better, in my opinion. That's me, but let's go over the card. Dedra Miro, action, pay 1, exhaust, choose an enemy unit. Its controller may deal 2 damage to it. If they don't, you draw a card. So it's one of the classic Punisher style cards where your opponent gets to choose the thing. You either get to deal 2 damage to something, or you get to draw a card. I think that's a win either way, especially if you're playing a control-based deck. And what do we get on the back? 4 deploy, 2/5, so similar to Sabine. While you have more cards in your hand than an opponent, this unit gains raid 2. So Dedra could attack for 4. And that's the reason why I initially saw her as a control leader. But one of my friends, and the guy that came in second, Angel, at the first Force Fam tournament, made a very nice deck with Dedra that was awesome. It was with command, and it was aggressive, and it was really good. But either way, I think that I'm going to put this at the top of my A tier for right now. I think she's really good. I don't think she's as good in aggro, but it can work, and I've seen it work. She really is great in control, so I think that all around she's just really good. Next up, we're going to go with Governor Price. This is a leader that I have not really got a chance to make a deck with yet or play with, but Governor Price is aggression and villainy, has an action of 1, exhaust, ready a token unit. I'm not crazy about it. What do we get on the back? She deploys on 6, and she's a 4/6. And it says this unit gets +1/+0 for each ready friendly token unit. On attack, create a spy token. I could see a world where you could kind of go with like a droid manufactory you could play something that goes wide with tokens. But I just, no matter how I think about this, I just don't really see this as being terribly great. I don't know if I want to put this in D. 4-6. I mean, the stats are underpowered. I don't know. For me, I'm going to put it in D. I just don't really care for this leader, and tokens, especially in the villainy side, you're either getting a battle droid, you're getting a spy, or you're getting a TIE fighter. They're all 1/1s, except for the spy. Unless a new token comes around, I don't really see this being that great. That's my opinion. Again, if you disagree and you have a deck, please feel free to share it, because I would really love to see it. I'm not one of those people where I'm completely set in my ways. I'm pretty open-minded. So if you do have a list and you want to show it, please feel free to. I'll gladly change my mind if I see something really good. I just don't see it personally. Next up is Cassian, and this one was just recently spoiled at the time of recording this. Today is the 17th of October as I'm recording it now. And Cassian is, I believe, our first heroism aggression leader in aggression. And it has the text of friendly units that have damaged an opponent's base this phase can't be attacked. Okay, there's some potential there. So if you're able to get in and deal damage to your opponent's base, those units can't be attacked back. Kind of cool. Now Cassian flips on 6, and it has some really interesting text on it. It's a 6 cost, 6/2 with Overwhelm. 6/2, not crazy, but while you have the initiative, this unit isn't defeated by having no remaining hit points and can't be defeated by enemy card abilities. So this really encourages you to keep the initiative, which is a little difficult to do in an aggro deck. It's possible, you just have to really manage your turns a lot better. I think that this might actually work better in more of a mid-range style deck, where you can play something to remove a unit, or you play a medium-sized unit or a big unit, and then you attack with your Cassian and you claim. You don't want to be deploying a whole bunch of little units with him, because you're going to lose the initiative and Cassian's just going to die. That's my opinion here. I don't think he's that great, though. Don't know if I want to go C or D. I'm going to go in C. And I mean, it's possible, I guess, but I don't think it's that great. I'm not really seeing a ton of D level leaders here, but yeah, that's just my impression. Next up, Luthen Rail, another heroism aggression leader. This one has the text: when a friendly unit is defeated while attacking, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit or a base. Okay, so you want more of an attrition. You want to be able to use your units as removal events, so to speak, and just wipe stuff out. I could see that. The back is a 5 deploy, 2/7. Stats not very good. When a friendly unit is defeated while attacking, you may deal 2 damage to a unit or base. So we boost up the damage here on this one. What do I think about Luthen? I honestly don't think he's that bad. I think he's better than most of the stuff in the B tier. I'm gonna put him at the top of B tier. I think he's good. I don't think he's great, but I think that he could have his own deck where you're making a mid-range, somewhat control style shell and you're using units as removal. I think it will see some play. I don't think it's going to be the best, but I think it'll see some play for sure. All right. Now we're going to move into our last category here with Cunning. And spoiler, this is a D tier leader. I was really hoping that this one would be good, but I just don't like it. Again, these are all my opinions, so please feel free if you disagree or you have a deck and you have something that you've done with this. I would really love to know more about it. So please feel free to share. But Slime War has an action where you can pay 1 and exhaust it. And if there are 4 or more exhausted units in play, create a spy token. 4 or more exhausted units. That means you have 2 and your opponent has 2, or you've got 4, your opponent's got 4. And for your troubles, you get a 0-2 with Raid 2. Alright, so deploys on 5. It's a 3/6, so it's understated. On attack, you may deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. That ability's not bad. Anytime you're dealing multiple damage to a unit, it's pretty good, but it has to be exhausted. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze, so to speak. Yeah, I'm going to just put this in D. I just think there's too much work to get this to be good, and I just don't see it, personally. Next up, we've got C-3PO, and at first, when I saw this, I was initially excited, but upon talking with one of my friends, I realized it's just kind of a tired trope for cunning. And, well, anyway, let's just look at it. It's got an action where we can pay 1 and exhaust it, and if we control an exhausted unit, we get to exhaust a unit. Okay, I'm thinking this is kind of a cunning thing at first. We can lock down a unit if we've got something that we just played, or if we used the first Grogu unit and exhausted something. That's what I first initially thought, but there's so many exhaust things in the game, it just, I don't know. On the back, it deploys on 4, which is nice, but we get a 1/6, so 1/6 is just not so great. I mean, Babu Frick's pretty good with this, I guess. I don't know. On attack, if you control another exhausted unit, you may exhaust a unit. So we're just exhausting a bunch of stuff. That's really all that we're doing. I'm not super high on C-3PO. I like it better than everything else in the D tier, so I'm going to put it at the top of D tier at least, but I just don't really see that being good. It might be the bottom of C tier, but I just don't see it. 1/6, the stats aren't great. It's just exhaust. I'm not really seeing it, personally. Next up, our other spotlight leader, Padme Amidala. And Padme has an ability. When you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit. I think that's solid. I think it's really, really good. I think there's plenty of ways that we can reveal or discard a card from our hand to activate this. So I think that it's a good leader on the front. Now the back, 6 to deploy, 3/8. So we got 11 points worth of stats. It's almost there. Stats aren't great again, but the front side says when you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. So we could have different instances of revealing or discarding, and it will trigger multiple times on the backside. But if we reveal 2 cards with Padme while she's flipped, it's still only going to deal 1, because it says 1 or more cards. So if we've got different instances, let's say we disclose twice, we're able to attack with a unit with disclose, we've got to reveal 2 cards for the first one, reveal 2 cards for the second, then it's going to ping 1 and then ping 1 again. So I think Padme is actually pretty good. I think that she's going to see a lot of play. I don't think that she's as good as Dedra or Dryden. And I'm really on the fence whether she's going to be better than Palpatine. I'm going to say that she is. And I think Padme finally gets a good card to play with. I'm going to definitely put her in A tier. I think she's good. And I think she'll see play. I could be wrong. Again, please feel free to yell at me in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. Alright. Up next is Sabe, and she's our penultimate leader here. And she's kind of got an interesting ability, and I built a deck with her recently. I just haven't made a video for it yet. And she has, when a friendly unit deals combat damage to a base, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of defending player's deck. Discard one of those cards. Put the other back on top. Alright, I'm going to use this example from the game that I played. And I was actually able to, with the deck that I was building, I was able to mill out a control deck. And it sounds really wild. I wasn't playing control myself. If anybody's familiar with Magic and the style of hate bears, that's kind of what I was going for with regional governors and the Kira unit. I'm trying to remember the Galen Ursa, where it flips and you get to name a card. Things where you're exhausting, like Wrong Ride is in the deck, where we deploy Sabe and exhaust stuff. And I literally removed all 3 of the Super Laser Blasts from their deck while I attacked with the unit. It was really cool. I had a lot of fun doing it. And the back is 5 deploy, 3/6, raid 1. When this unit deals combat damage to a base, you get to look at defending player's hand. You may discard a card from it. If you do, they get to draw a card. So this is kind of like a Bazine for the dark side from set 2 ability when you deal damage, which is still fine, but we're on the front side, we're getting rid of cards that could be useful on the next turn. And on the front side, we're getting rid of cards in their hand. So while I don't think this is a bad leader at all, I think she's really good, the support for her kind of doesn't really seem there fully yet. And that might change after rotation. Maybe set 7 has something better for her. With all that said, I still think that she's B tier, and I want to put her second in B tier. I think that she's good. And lastly, we're saving my favorite leader for last, and I may show a little bias here, so if I do, apologies. But DJ, our first ever double cunning leader. It's the first double aspect of any kind leader for this game, and it has the ability action exhaust, choose a friendly unit. If you do, play a unit from your hand. It costs 1 less. The chosen unit captures it. When played, abilities resolve after the unit is captured. So we have a unit in play, we activate DJ, we play something for 1 less, comes into play and immediately gets captured by the unit that we chose, and then it's when played happens. Okay? It's weird, I know. I built a video if you want to see tips on this one. I've made videos for command, vigilance, and aggression. On the backside, it's a 6 cost 4/6. Again, the stats are not great. We've got 10 points of stats on a 6 cost leader. It's not great. It has Saboteur and friendly units that are rescued enter play ready. So it kind of helps itself out from the front side ability. Now, what do I think about this leader? I really love this leader, but we can't play heroism or villainy. This also takes a little getting used to. Now, bear in mind, I'm a big fan of the Flip Palpatine, the Chancellor Palpatine from set 3, and it's one of my favorite leaders. And I love really strange leaders, and I've done a lot of testing with this leader, and I think it's good. I would say some people may not agree with me on this one, but give it a try. Maybe watch the video or watch somebody else's video of how to play it. It's basically a when played leader, and we're just using the best when played or negating some of the effects like Stolen Land Speeder with it. I'm not sure. I'm going to put it in the bottom of A tier. I think it's that good, and I know this is a controversial pick. Other people will probably put this lower. I've put in a lot of work with him. I like him a lot. I like what I've gotten out of him. It's my video, so I'm going to put him there. I'm definitely going to put him at the bottom of A, but I think there's definitely potential here. And I really also like the fact that we're moving into a different kind of a space here where we're getting double aspect leaders. is pretty cool. So we're not getting anything in S tier. I don't think anything is really that standing out for S tier, in my opinion. Again, I could be wrong. If you have different ideas or you got a deck that you've had good luck with, by all means, feel free to share it with me or make some discussions. Tell me what you where you put things. I'd love to hear. And yeah, that's about everything that we've got for now. Just wanted to say before we get out of here, thanks again for the support. I really appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. Really appreciate all the support. And it definitely could use any subscriptions. If you guys could subscribe or like the video, definitely helps me out quite a bit. Really appreciate it. And just want to wish you all the very best. May the force be with you, my friends. And I hope that you're well. Be well, my friends. Take care.